I recently started watching this video from Cosmic Skeptic. I'm a little bit over a minute in. Those of you who doesn't know, he's an atheist YouTuber. He talks about a lot of philosophy. The thing that has gotten me interested in this channel recently is because he actually went vegan recently, and he has had some vegan content up, and he has also been talking about things half the way through, and this video is no exception. He talks about Dennis Prager. Can I see if he pops up? Yeah, this person here. Um, and he actually attacked sort of the animal rights movement and as he explained is that he basically mean that humans are infinitely valuable and people are giving too much value to animals. So I going to dive straight into this, and disclaimer: I don't oppose religion in enough of itself. I read up a lot of religion. I am well educated in religion. I don't go up against people's religion, but I will attack different dangerous ideologies, or if somebody says doesn't make sense. If you see what I mean.
Are you more valuable than a dog or a cat, or for that matter, a tree?
Yes.
One of the biggest differences between judeo-christian values and secular values concerns this very issue, the worth of the human being. According to the judeo-christian value system, human beings are infinitely valuable.
Have you read the Bible? No.
On the other hand, secular humanism devalues the worth of humans.
That is not true. Most people do believe humans are more important than animals, even if they have a religion or not. Some religious people believe humans are have more value than animals, and vice versa. You got all sort of people everywhere, so don't try to bring this as a only Christian thing, because it's clearly not. And if you believe so, you should educate yourself a little bit more on others' faiths, beliefs, and also opinions.
As ironic as it may sound, the God-based judeo-christian value system renders humans infinitely more valuable than any humanistic value system.
I don't really understand this. Like, they put humans in the center very often, but I won't say that it's infinitely more valuable. I know atheists that believe that humans are infinitely valuable.
The reason is simple. If there is no God, human beings are only material beings, and therefore not worth anything beyond the matter of which they are composed.
It could be from somebody's opinion. Well, in my opinion, there's more than just physical matter into play. Like, you have emotions, you have intrinsic value, because we're sentient beings who can experience suffering and well-being and has a will to live.
But in the judeo-christian system, human beings are created in the image of God, meaning that human life is sacred.
Not true. If you read the Bible, you can actually come to the same conclusion that other animals are also made in the image of God. What is the image of God? It's an eye. It's also written, don't remember exactly the numbers for it. I think it's in Yesaya, maybe? Why did it jump in here? I don't know why. Yeah, it actually says that the same faith meets them both. Humans are nothing but as animals. So, this isn't true.
In other words, we are either created in the image of carbon atoms, and therefore not worth much more than carbon, or we are created in the image of God, and therefore infinitely valuable.
That is making everything a little bit too easy, to be honest.
Our secular, post-Judeo-Christian society has rendered human beings less significant than at any time in Western history.
Wow. Really? Like, if you go back before the 21st century, there were more killing. If you go back further into the 20th century, people were killing each other off at a very high rate. And you believe that people don't view humans as much now as we did in the past? You must be insane, to be honest.
First, the secular denial that human beings are created in God's image has led to humans increasingly being equated with animals.
Okay, so if you're not made in the image of God, therefore you have no value? Is that... how does that even make sense? I don't even understand what this... What do you mean about made in the image of God, by the way? Do you mean an eye or do you mean something else? If you can't specify, you don't have an argument.
That's why, over the course of 30 years of asking high school and college students if they would first try to save their dog or a stranger, 2/3 have
Save
always
the dog.
voted against the person.
Yeah, because people know the dog, they have a relationship with the dog, of course they will save the dog. I'm sure that you would probably save your wife in front of a complete stranger, although that stranger is a man and a priest.
They either don't know what they would do, or they actually vote for the dog. And many
Yeah.
adults now vote similarly.
Yeah, of course, because they know the dog. They don't have no idea who that stranger is.
Why? There are two reasons. One is that with the denial of the authority of higher values, such as religious teachings, people increasingly make moral decisions on the basis of how they feel.
And most people actually put more emphasis on sentient levels, and some do actually on intelligence. I don't, by the way.
And since just about everybody feels more for their dog than for a stranger, many people simply choose the dog.
Yeah, and that's perfectly reasonable.
The other reason is that once you get rid of judeo-christian values, there's no reason for elevating human worth over that of an animal.
Not in a nutshell, by the way, because if there is a dog that is just as sentient as a human and it can experience the same thing as a human, they have everything that humans has in order to function, I guess they would be the same value, although that dog would be a dog and not a human, and therefore not your view in the image of God. But not giving that dog the same rights if they had all the traits that the human had, although they would not be in the image of God and therefore treat them differently, wouldn't make any sense in my opinion.
That's why people estranged from judeo-christian values, including many Jews and Christians, support programs such as Holocaust on your plate.
Yeah, because the definition of Holocaust is destruction or slaughter on a mass scale. If you say that this is not a slaughter or a destruction on a mass scale, what is animal agriculture then?
Holocaust on Your Plate is a campaign developed by the animal rights group People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA, that teaches that there is no difference between the barbecuing of chickens in America and the burning of Jews in the Holocaust.
That is not the official statement of PETA, by the way, so I don't know where you got that from.
Why? Because a human and a chicken are of equal worth.
I know that somebody in PETA maybe believe that. I don't believe that. I'm not in PETA, by the way, so I'm not going to speak for PETA. I would say that the human is worth more than the chicken, but I'm sure that there are humans who have the sentient level of the chicken. Is it okay to kill them? If not, spell out the difference in the two, that if they were the same, would make it okay to kill the human.
So too, in a notorious Tucson, Arizona case, a woman screamed to firefighters that her 3 babies were in the burning house.
Oh no, not that one. Oh, that one's so bad.
Thinking that the woman's children were trapped inside, the firefighters risked their lives to save the woman's 3 cats.
And then a slap. Okay, first of all, firefighters will go in although they know that there are cats who are in danger, and they will risk their lives. Even if it's not safe, they will save the cats. And the thing is, if it's safe, they are actually supposed to save sentient beings who are about to die in the fire. Especially if there are cats who are property. And never ever have I seen a firefighter slap somebody because they misunderstood what they were about to save. That is absolutely ludicrous.
If you think these 2 examples are either just theoretical, the dog stranger question, or extreme, the Tucson mother of cats,
No, people actually do this.
here's an issue that is neither theoretical nor extreme.
No, people do this, and I see no problem with it, honestly. Why do you see a problem with it? Like, or personally, would you not save a drowning dog, even though if there was no human drowning? You probably would have saved the dog. If you could save a dog that you see is drowning and you see a human far off in the distance, there's absolutely no way that you can save that human. Will you not save that dog? Because then you wouldn't have saved the human. I'm curious. Do you value dogs at all?
More and more people believe, as PETA does, that even if it would lead to a cure for cancer or AIDS, it would be wrong to experiment on animals.
No, animal experimentation is useless. It doesn't work for any science going to be done on humans, not to a high degree, by the way. So testing on humans is way more efficiently than experimenting on rats.
In fact, many animal rights advocates believe that even to save a human life, it would be wrong to kill a pig.
Of course! Why the heck would you kill somebody to save somebody else? It doesn't even make sense. Would you kill a mentally disabled person to save a fresh person? Because clearly they're not worth the same. like, uh, you don't kill somebody just because they have lower intrinsic value.
To obtain a hard valve. The 20th century showed vividly what happens to human worth when Judeo-Christian values are abandoned. Nazi Germany and the various communist regimes.
No. The Nazi Germany wasn't an atheist.
All rejected Judeo-Christian values.
No. Yeah, the Soviet Union did, but now just keep in mind these are two opposing things. Nazi, they actually had a lot of Christian values within. It actually when you see like today where you see like Islamists yelling Allahu Akbar, actually they had the same thing written on their belt in the Nazi Germany, written in German.
And ended up slaughtering the largest number of people in human history.
No. There were many other before that killed off people in a much greater scale. King Leopold actually did this to a higher degree, and guess what? Belgium was Christian.
For Nazism, Jews and members of other non-Aryan groups were declared worthless and murdered in the millions.
No, not true. Not all. They were seen as less than, though none of them were seen as worthless. They were allied with Japan, that were Asians. They saw them as less than, but not worthless. They were allied with what did just happen? Okay, they were allied with Palestine, and they even had soldiers that were Palestinians in the German forces.
For communists, human worth was determined solely by communist parties, which murdered tens of millions of people.
Yeah. So what is the point to be made here?
Only by rejecting Judeo-Christian values could Nazis declare Jews, Slavs, and others subhuman.
Christianity has done the same thing about black people, but it has changed over the years. Like, the thing is, most people around the world accepted that blacks should not be treated less than before Christianity. Christianity came later with that idea. Same thing when it comes to women's rights. Christianity came afterwards. And I'm quite sure that Christianity will be a little bit afterwards when it comes to veganism as well.
And only by rejecting Judeo-Christian values could communist regimes slaughter those they called class enemies. Individual human life meant nothing. Meanwhile, human slavery was abolished only in the Judeo-Christian world.
It was actually brought on by Christians. But before that, there were Christians upon Christians upon Christians that owned slaves. So, where are you going with this?
And of course, for nearly all those who reject Judeo-Christian values, the human fetus is worthless, if its mother deems it so. Finally, there is an...
No, it's not how it works. It's not how they deem it so. People have very different ideas. Some women would actually abort although they feel that the fetus has value. So, you're wrong.
Increasingly vocal part of the environmentalist movement.
No.
That also denigrates human worth.
No, they don't. Like, the greatest thing for most environmentalists is to save humanity. So I don't really know where you're going with this.
For these individuals, the human being is not infinitely precious. Trees and rivers and mountains are.
Okay, so if I'm putting words into your mouth now, so are you saying that God's creation isn't infinitely valuable? Is that your view on this? Interesting to know, though.
So, are you more valuable than a dog or a cat or a tree?
Yes.
That depends on your value system.
I believe that, and I'm still vegan.
I'm Dennis Prager.
Okay, so that was something. Okay, so if I ask name the trait on top of this, so what is it that is true of a human that, if true of an animal, would make that animal have the image of God, in your opinion? So what is that, really? I would say that the image of God would be an eye, compared to how much I've read up on religion, so I don't really know where he's going with this. It's just so difficult, but I will debate this person anyways, if he sees this, but I doubt he will ever see this video. But yeah, it would be really interesting to debate somebody like that and actually challenge their belief. by using pure logic. So yeah, see you next time.